The Montagu course at Fancourt was designed by Gary Player. The greens are fabulous, the fairways manicured to perfection. It constantly ranks in the top 10 of South Africa and really poses a challenge to most golfers. Generally hitting mid to long irons into a lot of the par 4s, and par 5 has been very risk and reward, fantastic par 3s. I think the biggest challenge for me on the Montagu is the majestic par 4s. They really get the better of most golfers, long, tight and reasonably low stroked. The par 5s, very high risk and reward holes, can really get the better of you should you be off your game. What makes the Montagu course such a spectacular course is the strategic bunkering. The white sand, it sort of gives you that more of an Augusta feel. The bunkers really glow at you, makes it quite intimidating. As soon as you take the longer hitter to the championship tee boxes, all of the bunkers are suddenly in play. You can't hit over them. You really got to be accurate, and it can be very brutally penalised if you're not straight off the tee. Although there are several holes in the Montagu that sort of poses our signature holes, I think one of them has got to be the second hole, par 3 with an elevated tee box. When you get to the tee, you've got trees on your right and left, so it creates a tunnel vision. The green maybe about 30 meters below your feet. Most golfers will probably be going in there with about a 6 or a 5 iron. You've got a green that's bordered by 2 massive bunkers in the front right portion. If I'd have to suggest where to bail out, it's got to be the left-hand side. You don't want to be too long because it'll leave you a really tough chip shot, but all depending on the pin position, you want to miss it left, and it should leave you with a fairly straightforward up and down. The 10th hole of the Montagu, par 5, sort of down the hill that doglegs a little bit to the right. What makes it a challenge, especially to the longer players, is the second shot. Most of the guys can hit a fairly accurate drive down there. There's a nice wide fairway. But if you are a longer hitter and you're going for the green in 2, you've got to make sure you're really spot on. You miss it to the right-hand side, you're going to find the water, and on the left-hand side there's protected by quite a massive bunker. Even if you go left and find the bunker, you're still not guaranteed not to find the water on the next shot. If you're not such a long hitter, you generally hit a driver down the middle and lay it up to a fairly open plateau, just bordered by a little bunker on the right-hand side in which you can play a sand wedge across and make a fairly straightforward par. The 17th of the Montagu, definitely one of the best holes in South Africa. Constantly rates in the top 10 golf holes in the country. In summer, the beautiful flowering at the back of the green really makes the hole, and obviously the water in front of the green gives it that extra definition. Depending on where the tee's positioned, it can play quite long. But generally most golfers will be going in there with about a 5 or a 6 iron. It is quite wide, so you can spray it a little bit there, but you really want to just make sure you get the club choice right. If you happen to use too little club, you will end up in the water, and if you use too much, you're going to find yourself having a very difficult chip shot from the back of the green. From my experience in that hole, most golfers play that hole the best when they hit it just to the left half of the green, and although you have quite a sloping putt from left to right, shouldn't have too much trouble making par. Okay, the 18th of the Montagu, definitely one of my favourite holes on the course. It's a beautiful risk par 5. The trouble there is the third shot. You've got to really play a precision 9 or a wedge shot to that green with a massive water hazard in front of the green that almost stretches around the sides on the left and the right, and bordered by a bunker at the back. Most pros, if they hit a decent drive, are going to be going in with a 6 or a 7 iron. I think playing the 18th, being such a risk and reward hole, it's a great way to finish the course. The Montagu is a championship course, great setting, fantastic bunkering, all-round perfect condition, a true championship golf course.